knowing, the preparing. It's tough to just be thrown out there, especially in the circumstances that he was in.
And remember a year ago when they played the Chiefs, he played right tackle because Spencer Brown was out.
Yeah.
And that was a great game for the Bills offense. So let's see what he can do on the left side.
Welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Mike Catalana, I am Jenna Cottrell. We are here in Pittsburgh. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Dan Fates back in Western New York. All right, we're here getting ready for the Bills-Steelers game coming up on Sunday. Big game in terms of implications, 5 players to get into. But first, I just want to say, how important is this game for the Bills?
The playoff race in the AFC is wild. Look, the Bills still have to have hope. Maybe there's a chance to catch New England. Regardless of that, they got to win games to make the playoffs. They have a pretty good record against teams they're fighting for playoff spots. This is a team they could be fighting for a playoff spot with. Win this game. Get the edge on them. Have the tiebreaker. All those things come into play. But most importantly, Jenna, they need a win after what they did last week.
And it's going to get even more challenging. We know Deion Dawkins still in concussion protocol. Spencer Brown will not be out there. So let's start with our players to watch. We're going to kind of lump them together. But we have Ryan Vandemark, Alec Anderson. We might see Tylon Grable. Like, the challenge it will be for this team. I mean, we talked Deion Dawkins. He has been tried and true in this offense for so many years. Spencer Brown, both tackles. How do they do this?
Well, I think you have to have a different mindset going into this, and I think they know that. Look, what happened with Joe Brady and the offense, they know that plan didn't work. Now, the Steelers, yes. Now, they know the Steelers are not the Texans, but they have a formidable group on this defense. And Josh got beaten up. And like Josh said to us after the game, it's no fun. Like, hit 12 times, sacked 8 times. No matter what, even if the starters were out there, priority one, protect your quarterback, give him time to make plays. I don't know if that's sending 5 guys out there. I think that's unfair to Alec Anderson, unfair to Ryan Vandemark, certainly to Tylon Grable, who hasn't played. I think you need help. I think it's either a 6 lineman, backs chipping, tight end, whatever protections they can come with. First and foremost, protect Josh, and then get him in a position to make a play.
It's so tough because you're coming off a game that was so bad. Like, let's be real. And then to have those key pieces of your line not be out there. But you're right. I think creativity is going to be huge in this game. You need guys stepping up in this one as well. And you got to talk to Ryan Vandemark at practice because, you know, swing tackles playing both sides of the line and the challenge that can go into that.
Yeah, he's practiced a little bit for the right side, left side, waiting to see what happened with Spencer Brown. That is very different. Like, players will tell you, it's like being right-handed or left-handed. Not simple. He's had to do that. He's going to be the left tackle for them. At least that's what the implications are for this game. And that is tough to do. It's also, in fairness to him, coming in cold in a game, you know, at different times and playing that right tackle spot is not easy. Had a week of practice. I think that's important. A week of reps with the rest of the team. I think that is much more important to get him ready for the game.
The knowing, the preparing. It's tough to just be thrown out there, especially in the circumstances that he was in.
And remember a year ago when they played the Chiefs, he played right tackle because Spencer Brown was out. And that was a great game for the Bills offense. So let's see what he can do on the left side.
All right, more on offense. Gabe Davis, no longer practice squad, on the active roster now. A move that was made this week. No more Elijah Moore. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting for Gabe. Look, it wasn't a great game for any of the wide receivers in the last outing. I don't know how much time Josh is going to have to throw. This is part of what we talked about. I think the plan's going to be to get the ball out quickly. I think he's going to look for the guys he trusts to win and be in the right spot. That's Khalil Shakir. I know you don't love the screens, but that could be an important part of this offense. And I think Gabe will be in the spots that Josh needs him to be. I don't think any wide receiver is going to have a spectacular game. That hasn't really been the case. But I think the trust he has in Gabe will be really important when, look, it doesn't mean you don't have confidence in the players out there, but he's got a ton in Deion and Spencer Brown. It's just a different type of game.
I think you brought this up when we were talking about Brandon Cooks earlier this week. Like, I don't expect any of the Bills wide receivers to get tremendous amounts of production. It's like, all I think of is like the quality. Like, in some of those big moments, quantity would be great. Sure, I'm not saying we won't take that, but I'm saying you want to look at it of the quality of some of these tough third down, fourth downs. Like, Gabe Davis is a guy that we know Josh Allen trust, and that is huge in those moments. So we'll see what that can bring. There was another guy on offense, wasn't there? We were going to do.
No, they were the ones we were going to talk about on offense.
Defense.
In terms of that. I mean, honestly, when you look at defense, look.
Oh, okay. We talked about defense before.
Yes.
Before we were shooting this, and you said your boy, Greg Rousseau.
Yeah, look, here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers is going to get rid of the ball quickly. That's what he does. He's not going to, it's not the old Aaron Rodgers. It's old Aaron Rodgers, okay? I mean, it is.
It's not vintage Aaron Rodgers, it's old Aaron Rodgers.
Right, and so in the case, he gets the ball out quickly. It is short passes. The one thing Greg Rousseau is pretty effective in, too, is, I swear, I think it's get a pass rush, get the hands up, try to block the passing lanes. I think Rodgers is going to do that in this game. I think the plan is, you look at his yards per attempt, it is very small. This is not the guy throwing, even with DK Metcalf, it's not throwing the ball deep down the field.
A lot of yak from this.
It is. Also, Greg Rousseau in the run game, he has to maintain. He's been really good against the run. I know this team and this defense in total hasn't been, but I think that's a strength of Rousseau and Bosa. Hold those edges from the running backs and absolutely get the hands up in the passing lanes against Aaron Rodgers.
We bring up the Steelers offense, and you do talk about the yak that they've been able to produce. Tackling will be, it's important in every game. We don't want to, obviously that's the case, but especially tomorrow because a lot of these yards that the receivers are getting are well after the catch. So that's something that's important, which brings us to, we know Terrell Bernard will not be out there. Shaq Thompson is a guy that I think a lot of fans have been intrigued to see more of out there on the field. Even Matt Milano we can do in terms of the linebackers. That group, that's going to be really important tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just said it. You got to tackle. Yeah. Look, the Steelers will probably try to run the football. That is going to be what they want to do. You have to be prepared for that, and the tackling has to be better. And it is technique. It is a mindset. Look, I think this is going to be that type of game. I think the Bills are going to run it a lot, too. I mean, we certainly could have mentioned James Cook because I think he's going to be a key part of the offense. I think the Bills are going to run the ball. Get the guys to the ground. Put the Steelers in 3rd and long. That has not been a strength of this team. Don't give them the opportunity to be, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Make it 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Force them into passing situations. It's funny when you say that with a guy with Aaron Rodgers' history and Josh Allen's ability, but I think both of these teams are going to want to stop the run and force the other guy to throw, which is kind of wild in this matchup.
I'm expecting a slugfest in this one. Yeah. I mean, I think of when you think of Pittsburgh anyways, you think of the physicality, but I do think that tomorrow will be exchanging haymakers out there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I think it's going to be that kind of game. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. I'm going to be in the press box. You're going to be outside.
If you see me on the sidelines, no, I'm not wearing a sleeping bag, but it probably looks just like that. All right, anything else?
No, I don't think so. I love games here. It's a great atmosphere. I know there's Bills fans. We've already seen them. Enjoy the game, and as always, we'll have the complete coverage on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.
Do us a favor. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We also want to say we haven't talked to you since Thanksgiving. We hope everyone had a lovely Thanksgiving. We'll also see what happens tomorrow. I think that might be included in the holiday weekend for many people.
Hey, on Thanksgiving, the Chiefs lost. So I know you're happy about that.
That was a gift. Yeah, also, check out the Buffalo Plus store, buffaloplusstore.com, if you're looking for any holiday gifts for people or loved ones, whatever. Okay, for Mike, I'm Jenna. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time here on Buffalo Plus.